Uncut show on Guvi's podcast. This show is all about introducing our viewers to the Indian startups who are creating a massive social impact using their innovative technologies and creative thinking. I'm sure you might have come across the term manual scavenging. Manual scavenging is the practice of a worker entering into the sewage systems and manually removing the drainage from that. And this is a very serious problem in India because although it is illegal, there are close to 1.3 million people who still take this up as a profession due to unemployment. And this poses a serious health hazard not only to them but also to them and their families. Solinas Integrity is one such Indian startup that aims at providing a solution for this problem by empowering manual scavengers with robots. And they have made significant progress in doing so. So on today's episode, we have with us the co-founder of Solinas Integrity, Ms. Linda Jaslin. Welcome to the Uncut show, Linda.
Hi.
So Linda, tell us, how did Solinas first come up with this idea of replacing manual scavenging and pipeline inspection with robots?
So we built our products based on the pain points of several people that that have come forward with their problems. So there are two fundamental problems that we are trying to solve, and both of these problems are major critical problems in the society that needs quick intervention so that people can lead a life of dignity. So one of the major problems that we are trying to solve is related to water. So in water industry, if you see, a lot of people would have, a lot of common people like us would have faced this kind of problem firsthand. You all must have witnessed how we get dirty water coming out of our taps.
Yeah,
so this is a major problem for all of us because this water is being used for washing our vessels, washing vegetables, taking bath, brushing our teeth, etc. And this same water causes a lot of skin ailments like psoriasis, eczema, rashes, and this is not okay because humans have a fundamental right for humans is access to clean water, and this is not okay at all. And another major problem that we face because of water is traffic. So this might sound not related, but this is related because if you see, you might be stuck on the road for hours together because the corporation would have dug up the roads just to find a pipeline blockage. So this causes a lot of pain for the citizens that are present in that particular place. So this is why it is very important that we come up with a solution, and that's what we have done. We have come up with a solution to ensure that we fix these kind of pain points for the citizens. So this is one of the places that we are trying to solve. And the second place is the horrible act of manual scavenging that we want to eliminate. Yeah. So manual scavenging is a very horrible act that people are still indulging in just to make a living out of it. And this is also not okay because every human being is entitled to have a dignified job in the society. And if you see manual scavengers, they go inside septic tanks and they clean the tanks using their bare hands. And they get all our human excreta waste on inside their fingernails. And this causes a lot of skin diseases and also a lot of respiratory problems. And the worst, it causes death.
Yeah, there's no protective gear also for them, right?
Yes, there is no protective gear provided by the government or anyone for that matter, because they are cheap labor for us, right? They just go inside the septic tank, they clean it out because the septic tank's lowest portion is hardened sludge. So they need someone to go inside and remove that part so that the septic tank becomes open again. So that is why the human beings go inside. And if you know, about 330 people have died in the past 5 years cleaning septic tanks, and that is just on the records. Off the records, the number will just shoot up. So this is the kind of state that the nation, or even worldwide, people practice the same kind of thing, and this is what we are on a mission to solve.
Yeah, that's a wonderful mission. We're very happy that an Indian startup is taking this initiative to provide a solution for this global problem. So what was your first reaction when you all discovered this technology and knew that there was a massive scope for this in the Indian market?
Yeah.
The number is huge, right? I recently read a survey that about 1.3 million people actually take up manual scavenging as a profession.
Right.
So what was your first reaction when you all invented or discovered such a technology?
So when we first first understood what the customers need, what the end users need, and then we built a product based on that. So it was not the other way around. We did not build a product and then try to fit in according to the customer's needs. We understood the customer's pain points, and then based on that, we came up with solutions for that. So we understood that one of the main reasons why manual scavenging happens is because manual scavengers are not aware of their rights to holding a dignified job. So these manual scavengers, they do not have any other alternate sources of employment, and people do not give them also, and that is the place where they're stuck. They are just stuck to do manual scavenging. And another point is that it's cheap labor, right? So if people had to employ machines, that would cost a lot for them. So that's where we wanted to come in. We wanted to ensure that we are empowering manual scavengers. We are not eliminating their jobs, we are coming in to help them. So that's where our invention comes into play. So we empower the manual scavengers to clean the septic tanks and also put in lesser efforts. So they don't have to enter the septic tank, they don't have to risk their lives. They can operate the machine independently. It's a very user-friendly robot that we have made. So they can operate it independently, and they can also save time. They can save time, they can save their effort, and they can also save their lives.
That's amazing. So can you please walk us through how your technology works? What is the actual technology, or what is the AI that is used behind it? Can you give us a run through?
Yes. So there are two products that we have. So we cater to the water as well as the sanitation sector. So for the water sector, we have a product, we have a water solution as a whole. So there's something called Enderbot. So the Enderbot is a tethered crawler visual inspection robot. It can go inside pipelines, conduct a conditional assessment of the pipelines. It can see where there are leaks, where there are weld cracks, where there are irregularities in the pipeline. All these kind of information is collected and it is transferred to a cloud-based data analytics platform. And on this platform, it's a AI platform. So all kinds of data processing and all conditional assessment is done on the platform. And within just an hour of the inspection, the customer will get a detailed report about the health of the pipeline. So with using this, the customer can make informed decisions how they have to rehabilitate their pipelines, what kind of measures they need to take in order to restore their pipelines. These are some of the things that the customer can do. The other product that we have is the Homocep, which is for the sanitation sector. So this product this is a septic tank cleaning robot. So this product can go inside the septic tanks for a depth of 4 to 5 meters, and then it has an umbrella mechanism. So it opens up and there are blades on the ends. Okay. So these blades will help in homogenizing the hard sludge which is at the bottom of the septic tank.
Okay.
So this eliminates the need for manual intervention. So the manual scavengers do not have to enter. They can just use this to homogenize the sludge, and the blades will start rotating at a very high speed. Okay. And within just 2 to 3 hours of operating this robot, the slurry which is inside becomes a good liquid kind of paste, and then there's a suction pump with the Homocep. So this suction pump will suck all the slurry out. So there's no need for a man to go inside the septic tank. It becomes a machine hole basically.
Yeah, so basically your invention, it it reduces traffic jams, right?
Yes.
So that's amazing, because I myself have noticed so many times that the government puts the road and then again they end up digging up the road.
Yeah.
So it leads to so much of traffic, and it's a huge headache.
So with Endobot, you just have to make 2 digs. One to insert the robot and one to rectify wherever there is a problem.
Okay.
So currently what they do is they dig at random spots on the road just to identify where there is a problem. So you can save on efforts, time and
Money.
cost.
Yeah.
So that's where our technology comes into play.
Yeah, okay, so that's great. And when a new technology is introduced into the market, especially the Indian market, it is not really widely accepted, right? So when you introduce this new technology, you would have definitely got some very weird comments or some backlash, and that would have actually put your morale down, or something like that would have happened, right? So how did you overcome that, and what exactly happened? Could you guide us through that?
So in the beginning when we started, so as a hardware kind of startup, we cannot have a complete product available in the beginning. We start with a prototype, we iterate a lot along the journey, and even after having a complete product, we keep developing our robots further to fit into the market. So in the beginning when we started, it was a very random prototype. We just wanted to validate the technology if it works. So when we took this prototype and approached for both Endobot and Homocep, when we approached various customers like the municipalities and the self-help groups, they looked at it and they dismissed it because they thought that it's just a machine or it's just a toy, and that's how they viewed it also. So they did not give much importance to it. We tried to talk to them and made them understand how our products can be useful, and then they started listening little by little, and then we started understanding their pain points. What are the problems that they face? One of the things that we understood from the self-help groups was that they wanted a very user-friendly robot. When they saw a big machine, they got scared. They thought, oh my god, it's so big, how will we use it? That was the first thought that went across their heads. So we told them that this is a very user-friendly machine. With just 3 buttons, we can perform the entire operation. And we explained all that to them. And we also noted down all the feedbacks that they had for us. So we took those setbacks as feedbacks for ourselves, and then we moved forward and we incorporated everything that we received from them into our product, so that at the end, they are the ones that need to be satisfied with the product. So currently our product is being used by them, and they are very much happy with how things are.
That's really nice. So you see, many of these manual scavengers are actually people who don't have a formal education, right? They're
Right.
Illiterate people. So how will they be able to identify if there's some defect or something with the machine? Is there anything like that? Anything that will help them identify? Or is there do these people manually they go and operate the machines, or is there like a hierarchy where they operate it?
No. So we partner with several self-help groups for distributing the Homocep robots.
Okay.
So with the help of the self-help groups, the NGOs, we identify manual scavengers who could actually use the robots, like who are open to using the robots, who require the need of the robots. So we identify those kind of people, and then we have a session for them. We have a training session for them.
Okay.
It's actually a 3-day kind of workshop where we talk about each and every component of the Homocep. We explain how it operates, what happens if something doesn't work, how do they handle the operations, all those kind of questions that they have, everything we answer. And then we also provide them safety kits. We provide them boots, gum boots, helmets, gloves, all those kind of materials are also provided along with the Homocep to the manual scavengers.
Okay.
So this is the kind of training that we need to give the people, so that people are comfortable using our products as well.
Yeah, That's really nice. So there would have definitely been some really nice success stories, some manual scavengers coming and telling you all that, you have changed their lives, or the wives, the family of those scavengers, they would have come and tell you, right? So is there any such story which really touched your heart, which told you all that, yes, we are on the right track, our invention is definitely helping people? So is there any such story?
So for Homosep, we distributed, so the first few robots that we distributed, we provided it, we identified, with the help of self-help groups, we identified women who were the wives of deceased manual scavengers. So these manual scavengers, they had lost their lives about some years back when they had to perform septic tank cleaning. So they entered the septic tank, they were exposed to the toxic gas in the tanks, and they had fainted, and then they had just died inside the tank itself. So these women were devastated, and they were, they were traumatized. And that's when we went in and we talked to them, and we helped them understand how our product will help them. And they were so happy with our product. They felt that we have brought a revolution in the sanitation sector, because this was something which was the whole incident of their husbands passing away had hurt them a lot. And when we found a solution for that, that really touched them. And the first few units that we distributed were for women like them. And currently, the women that we distribute the robot to, they form self-help groups within themselves. So this is a kind of micro entrepreneurship model that we are, helping them, start, so that they will form groups among themselves, and in their localities, they will use the robots to clean their localities' septic tanks.
So it's also like you're providing jobs for
Yes. So they get to, do something that they actually want to do, but in a dignified manner.
Yes. Yeah, that's really great. So a majority of your clients must be governments, right? Governments purchasing these robots. So has the government been accepting this with open arms, or has there been backlash from the government, or how is it in that scenario?
So we engage with both government as well as the private organizations. So for Endobot, it's both, and for Homosep also, it's the same thing. It's both. So for Endobot, in the beginning when we were doing product development, there was a bit of backlash from government as well as private, because our product was just, it was a prototype. It cannot do a complete assessment of the pipeline. There were a lot of limitations, but we kept the contacts with ourselves, and we kept approaching them on a regular basis, maybe once in 6 months. We kept updating them about the developments that we did, and now we are in a position to actually deploy in various cities. So we get a lot of calls from different places, and we are receiving a lot of good traction for the business, because people started hearing about the work that we do, and they have been calling us for different kinds of jobs. And that is actually a very good sign that our business is actually heading in the right direction. So for Endobot, it's going pretty well. For Homosep, we currently are going by the CSR route, though there are multiple organizations approaching us for orders of the units as well. So that's currently what we are engaged in.
So these units, they approach you all to buy robots to clean inside their locality, right? So, or how is it like a city which they buy it for, or like inside the, like if I'm living in a housing society, so they get that robot to clean the sewage which is inside the society, or how does that work?
So actually the municipalities are supposed to buy these robots, and they are supposed to distribute wherever the work is required. So if the work is required in one locality on one day, they will send the robot there, and the robot will clean it and then return back to the municipality. That's how it's supposed to happen.
So, Linda, apart from this sewage cleaning and pipeline inspection, is there any other way that this technology can be used in the future? Do you have a vision for that?
So currently we are catering to the water and sanitation sector, and in that we are doing the pipeline inspection and septic tank cleaning. So for inspection of pipelines, we are currently working on technology that can, where we can do the inspection better. So by using better advanced sensors, advanced technology for that, all those kind of technological advancements we are working on. Apart from that, we are also working on rehabilitation of pipelines. So maybe there can be some kind of an extra addition instrument that can be fixed to the robot. So when the pipeline is being inspected, and if there is a interference in between, the rehabilitation mechanism can remove that kind of interference from its path. So that's the kind of things that we are working on, and it's the pipeline. So that is something that we are working towards. And in the septic tank cleaning robot, we are working on making the product much better, much reliable. So that's the kind of vision that we have. We want to stick with revolutionizing water and the sanitation industry, and that's what we will be working towards.
Okay, that's wonderful. Definitely looking forward to seeing all your new advancements in this technology, and taking this Indian startup to great heights, becoming a world-class technology and all that.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're done with the first segment. So now moving on to our second segment. The second segment is a rapid fire. So as you know, this segment, I'll be throwing questions at you rapidly, and you will hardly have any time to answer. So you need to answer quick. All right. So shall we begin?
Yes.
Yeah. So the first question: what's your favorite technology tool or gadget, and why?
Currently, I'm using my iPad a lot because I am practicing the art of journaling, writing down my daily goals, my reflections of the day, and what I'm looking forward for the next day. All those kind of things I'm journaling. So, and plus I like to sketch now and then, and also I love to read books on my iPad. So those three things I'm doing it every day. So that's something I'm doing.
Okay. So which app or software do you use the most in your computer or phone?
I'm currently using WhatsApp a lot because that's where we communicate. So that's that.
Okay. So what is the most useful technology device that you own apart from your iPad?
Apart from my iPad, then it's my phone. So I think anything that anything that can give you instant knowledge, that's very much useful. Phone is something you can just pick up from your pocket and then start Googling things. So that's very important to me.
Okay. So what technology trends are you most excited about right now?
Technological trends, I think I might be biased, but machine learning and AI is something that we are working on in Solinas, and I think it has a great potential because going forward in the future, that is what is going to revolutionize the technological industry, and that's something that I'm looking forward to.
That's something everybody's looking forward to, like ChatGPT and all that.
Yes, ChatGPT. Yes.
So, what is the best technology-related advice that you've received?
I think the best advice I think I've read on the internet is that before you start solving a problem, before you start making a product, understand whether it's required in the market. So first have a proper market study, understand its potential in the market, and then go on to building something.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes.
So many people come up with unwanted inventions.
Yes. And then if that's how you're going about with unwanted inventions, then you're bound to fail. So you have to find the right, you have to find a distinctive business model before you start. So that's something that's very much required before you start up.
Okay. So what is your most favorite tech-related memory in your childhood?
Tech related memory. Okay, so when I was small, I think when I was in 7th or 8th grade, uh, my dad gifted me and my brother an Xbox Kinect. So it's a camera and it monitors the movements of our body. So my brother and I used to dance before the camera, and I think that's a very happy memory that I have, which is related to tech.
Okay. So what inspired you to pursue a career in this field?
So I was supposed to study for medicine, but then I did not.
Medicine or engineer?
But then I decided not to, because I was not very much, very much interested in those subjects. It was just that a lot of people hyped a lot about medicine when I was in 11th, 12th, and I decided to do that. But then I realized that that's not my area of interest. Then I came. Then I was exploring other fields. I was exploring engineering. I was exploring law, and then I went through the syllabus of all the engineering, courses. And then I found that in mechanical there was a lot of weightage given to physics and math, and that is something I like, and that's why I decided to pursue mechanical engineering.
Okay. So which technology company or innovator do you admire the most, and why?
I do not have a particular person or in mind that I admire a lot, but recently I watched a documentary on Elon Musk. I think that was very inspirational, because I saw how his journey was, and how the amount of failures he had to go through to get rockets into space. And that was very inspirational, considering how much limited budget he had, and how much limited time he had, limited team he had, and everyone was betting on just getting the rocket to space, and they kept failing, and at the third time they got it into space, and that was very very nice to watch. So that's
Okay. So what was the first tech device or tool that you owned?
tech device or tool. I think it was the MP3 player that used to be
Every
there.
90s kid,
Yeah.
every 90s kid's best friend, right? Okay. So which programming language are you most comfortable with, and why?
I am not familiar with programming language at all. I'm a mechanical engineer.
Okay, so you don't need a programming language
No.
to build robots.
We need programming language. It's that you don't have to be a subject expert in a particular field. Even if you take any leader, like maybe Jack Ma of Alibaba, or Brian Chesky of Airbnb, they were all from non-tech backgrounds, but they still made a tech
Related company.
they built in tech space. So it's not that you need knowledge in tech. You just have to know your area of business, and then you have to have an understanding of how tech works, and then hire the right people to do your job. So that's pretty much it. You don't need to know programming in order to work in tech.
Okay. So what was the last tech conference or event that you attended, and what did you learn?
The last tech conference was we at Solinas, the team including me, we went to Your Story. It's called Tech Sparks, hosted by Your Story. So there we won we were one of the 30 promising startups in India. So we got an award for that as well.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And we learned a lot, because we met several startups, brilliant startups like ours, and we had conversations with them. We understood their struggles. We understood from where they were coming from and how they were solving different kinds of problems. And those kind of information, the kind of information that we gathered during the event was, it was very, what do you use for? It was very informative, and it was very useful for us, and we learned a lot from them.
Okay. So what is the tech-related book or article that you have read which had a very big impact on you?
Tech-related article. So I do not have any particular tech-related article that impacted me, but there are several articles that we have to read on a daily basis or frequently to keep up with the latest trends in the area that we are working in. For example, we have to keep reading about what is happening in the water sector, what is the kind of solutions that are available for pipeline inspection. So we keep ourselves updated, and I think that is the kind of tech related stuff that we read in the organization. And we also for same thing for septic tanks. So what is the problems that the manure scavengers face? What is the stats? Where is manure scavenging very prevalent? So those are the things that we need to know so that we can reach out to the people on a much larger scale. So that's something that we do, and that's something that I do.
Okay. So I'm not asking all those questions, those kindergarten questions. Okay. So now we've come to the end of this segment. Now we are going to move on to our last segment, which is the opinion chit. So in this segment, you'll be given a bowl with chits, and you'll have to pick a chit. Those chits will have a new age technology that's emerging. You'll have to share your opinion on it. What do you think the future could be for those kind of technologies and all of that? Okay.
Okay.
So Linda, this is the opinion bowl that has the opinion chits. So you'll have to pick one of these chits, and you'll have to give your opinion about what the technology, what your opinion is on the technology.
Sure. Okay. Blockchain.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think blockchain goes, it's like synonymous with Bitcoin and all those cryptocurrencies. So I think blockchains are, it has a very great potential in the future because they are basically decentralizing how financial transaction records are being maintained. So I think it's a very it has very great potential, and it will be one of the future tech stuff that people look forward to.
Like how India is transforming into UPI instead of cash.
Yes.
Right. So blockchain would be there.
Yes.
Next.
Design and animation. In design and animation is very important in any kind of business. I think that's what actually attracts the customers.
Yeah.
So a lot of maybe even advertisements or marketing materials have good design and animation, and that is what captures the customer's attention and brings them to understand the kind of work that we do. So this is very important in every industry, and I think there are multiple teams actually working on this kind of a field for the company that they are working for, and I think this is a very good place to be in to grow in your career.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one.
Internet of Things. Internet of Things is something that is picking up very rapidly. All the devices are getting interconnected, and all the data are also getting exchanged and getting saved in the common place, that is the internet. And
like Alexa.
Yes, like Alexa. So I think this is also one of the futuristic things, and it's already existing right now, but it's bound to grow further in the upcoming years, and we will see a lot of these things in our daily on a day-to-day basis in our daily lives, like even our houses, even smart houses, all the appliances in the house, everything gets interconnected, all the lights, fans, fridge, everything gets interconnected, and that makes life much easier, and people are moving towards this.
Yeah, definitely. Next one.
Artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is also bound to grow to a very great extent in the future. So currently what happens is robots do very basic work, repetitive work. The boring part of work is done by robots.
Okay.
So, but now the times are changing, and now the robots are starting to learn how to, act like a human, think like a human, and take, rational decisions, rational kind of thinking. So I think artificial intelligence comes into play where, it's no more robot to robot interaction, it's more of robot to human interactions. So this is also, getting good amount of attention from the crowd, and it is bound to have a very great future.
Yeah. So, like how all these Hollywood movies showcase robots taking over the human race, do you think that will ever happen?
I don't think that much will ever happen, but
there are ethical
yes.
shortcomings to that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, all these new emerging technologies which you had just spoken of, right? So Guvi actually has all these courses where, even people who are not from the technical background can easily access this and, easily learn it in their own mother tongue.
Very nice.
So, yeah, so that is actually empowering a lot of people who actually want to develop a career in that technical field and, also change their career. A lot of people are taking it up.
That's very nice.
Yeah, so we can see the Indian youth moving into a tech era and becoming tech savvy and all of that.
That's very nice. Yeah. It's nice that a company is working towards making knowledge available for a wide range of population. Yes, that's nice.
Because we believe that language should never be a barrier for education. Just because I don't know English doesn't mean I should not be a good data engineer.
That's a very nice initiative.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Linda. It was wonderful talking to you. You really gave us a lot of insights on AI and robotics, and what your company does is just marvelous. So thank you so much for your time and presence with us today on this podcast. So is there any final finishing note that you would like to tell our audience? Any message that you would like to give?
And first of all, thank you so much for having me. It was actually very nice interacting with you as well, and it was very nice expressing and helping people understand what kind of problems that we are solving at Solinas as a team. So I think I would like to I would like to end with a favorite quote that I have of Benjamin Franklin. So I don't remember the exact quote, but he says something about there are 3 types of people. One is the immovable people who do not actually take ideas into consideration. They just do what they want to do and then they just go away with that. Then there are people who are movable. They listen. They try to understand the problem and they try to help. And then there are people who move. So they make things happen. And that and those are the kind of people who need to be encouraged in order to have a great movement in the world. So this movement, if it is strong enough, it turns into a revolution. And that is something that we need at this very hour, because there are several problems that we face in the society. And we need revolution in various fields. And that's something that we at Solinas believe. And we are trying to revolutionize the water and sanitation sector.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
Hope you had a great time on our show.
Yes, I did. Thank you.